Hello, fellow Rotarians and guests. I'm Lori Alton, and I'm honored to serve as your club president for the Rotary year 2021-2022. The Rotary Club of Columbus has a storied past, beginning in 1915, when a group of civic-minded people saw the need for leaders to come together to find ways to make our community better. And now, 106 years later, we're a vibrant, strong club that continues to place service above self. Our club is diverse, with members across all sectors of business, government, military, healthcare, education, nonprofit and community service, ministry, and the arts. And we come together each week as friends with a shared purpose of learning how we can be more involved in the things that matter to all of us. And we leave committed to changing our community and changing lives. As Rotarians, we are people of action, and it shows. The COVID-19 pandemic this past year has presented unique challenges to both our community and our club. However, as Rotarians and as friends, we've been steadfast in our commitment to our club, to one another, and to our fellow citizens. I've seen you reach out to others in need. You've stepped in to serve where there were gaps, and you've demonstrated love and compassion for others. But I'm not at all surprised, because that's what Rotarians do. This year, we're striving for some sense of normalcy in our lives, with our families, and in our club. We can once again gather together each week for lunch and fellowship, and I, for one, could not be more grateful. There are exciting things happening in your Rotary Club, and I'm glad you're part of it. As a service organization, the projects we're planning have a real-time impact on people's lives. So welcome back to Rotary. Thank you for being here, and thank you for making a difference in our community. Well, hello, and welcome to the August 4th meeting of the Rotary Club of Columbus. As I say every week, it's so wonderful to see all of you here in person. Also, a warm welcome to all of our Rotarians watching online. And so I want to highlight today one of our very own Rotarians, Chef Chris Walters, who about 2 weeks ago coordinated the very first Culinary Junior Olympics here at the Trade Center. He had 15 young people who came and learned from him and competed for the winner of the Junior Olympics. And I just want to thank him for sharing his expertise with these young people, these future chefs in our community. And so if you're curious, the winner's hot dog is going to be featured the entire month of August at Frank's Alley. So make sure you stop by. So would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I would like to ask President-elect Cedric Hill to please offer our invocation in accordance with his faith tradition.
Thank you so much. Join me, if you will, in prayer. Our Father and our God, we first thank you for this day. It is the day that you have made, and we delight ourselves, rejoice, and we're glad in it. We thank you for our club. We thank you for our district governor. We thank you for those that are visiting with us today. We thank you even for the times in which we're living. We just ask that you would open our hearts to newness and to grace and the mercy that you show us on a daily basis. Be with us over the next few days and weeks to come, even as we begin to hear and adhere to principles and policies that are laid out for us to follow for all of our protection. This we pray in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Remember, please, if you can, the can. As I was actually told, if you'll join me with what's called folding money to put into the cans.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Austin Lyle to bring us today's news.
Here's a look at your headlines. COVID cases are on the rise, but while the COVID cases are rising with new variants making their way across the United States, primarily among the unvaccinated, the CDC reported that the likelihood of a vaccinated person being hospitalized as a result of COVID is less than 4/1,000th of a percent. The CDC issued a new limited 2-month moratorium yesterday regarding evictions. The moratorium's ban on evictions is tailored to cover areas in the United States where there is a substantial and high spread of COVID as defined by the CDC, which includes the majority of U.S. counties. However, experts predict this moratorium to be challenged in the court system in the near future. The United States leads the overall medal count at the Olympics. As of this morning, the United States had 77 total medals, with 25 of them being gold. And in local news, Golden Donuts reopened this week. I'm sure many of you are extremely excited to get your free donut now again after a few months' stay. The Dow Jones was down 292 points at noon today. Your weather forecast was partly cloudy with a high of 87 and a low of 68. And we'll end with this quote from entrepreneur and fellow Rotarian Jim Ron. Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Thank you.
Now it's my pleasure to ask Melody Trimble to introduce today's visitors and guests. Melody?
Yes, thank you very much. Well, fellow Rotarians and President, I would like to introduce, first of all, the brother of Judy Thomas, Mr. David Williams. Welcome. We have two visiting Rotarians with us today. First, from the Muskogee Club, Sherry Cody. There she is. Welcome, Sherry. And we also, as a visiting Rotarian from Phoenix City who came with Juan Osario. His name is Scott Raywower. There you go. And next, want to introduce visiting Rotarians and guests, Sebastian Vila. He was in our club back in 2015 and 16, a Georgia Rotary student program, and he has with him his girlfriend Natalia Mira, who is a MBA student at CSU. And then visiting from Columbia, he has his brother, Sebastian's brother Mateo Vila, his sister Sofia Vila, his sweet mother Carmen Molina, and his father Juan Vila. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Melody. So Sebastian, before all of you sit down, I just want to say a special warm welcome to you and your family. We're so excited you're here, and you know the relationship between our club and your country is only getting stronger, because this year I'm excited to announce our new GRSP student, scholar, let me make sure I say it correctly, Haisha Haddad. Haisha, where are you? Wonderful. We are so excited to have you. Haisha will be attending Columbus State this year. Her host family is Charles and Margaret McCall. And would you please join me in welcoming Haisha as she brings us her country's colors.
Hi, my name is Haisha Haddad. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Barranquilla, Colombia, and I'm really happy to be here and to have this opportunity, such an honor, so thank you.
Thank you, Haisha. We all look forward to meeting you and getting to know you better this year. And now it's my pleasure to call on Michael Silverstein to introduce our Colonel Ralph Puckett, Soldier of the Week.
President Laurie, District Governor Mary, fellow Rotarians and guests, it's my honor and pleasure today to be able to introduce our special military guest, Staff Sergeant Roberto Silva, who's originally from Red Bluff, California. Sergeant Silva initially listed in the United States Marine Corps in 2005, and then while serving in the Marine Corps, he was deployed twice to Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. And upon completing his enlistment in the U.S. Marine Corps, he made his way to the United States Army in 2009, and he attended one unit station training right here at Fort Benning, Georgia as an infantryman. He was then deployed twice, once to Iraq and once to Afghanistan. And after Afghanistan, he went on to Germany, and then he volunteered and was selected to attend drill sergeant school at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, graduating in April 2016. He was then assigned to the 198th Infantry Brigade, 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment right here at Fort Benning. And during his time there, he was, by virtue of his outstanding performance, selected to be the senior drill instructor. After completing that tour, in 2018, Staff Sergeant Silva was assigned to WINSEC right here at Fort Benning, working in the Non-Commissioned Officer Academy. And he also is the WINSEC representative for the Fort Benning Sergeant Audie Murphy Club, where he volunteers. He's had many opportunities to participate in a number of schools that he completed very successfully. He has had an extensively long list of awards and decorations, just to name a few: the Army Commendation Medal with 5 Oak Leaf clusters, the Army Achievement Medal Award with 5, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, the Meritorious Unit Commendation, the Army Good Conduct Medal, and the Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal. Staff Sergeant Silva is married to Rosura. They have been married 7 years, and they have a 4-year-old daughter, Dana Sofia Silva. I can tell you, in talking with him, he is a very dedicated soldier who appreciates everything the military has afforded him, but I can tell you, he has afforded us a great deal by virtue of his service to our country. And it is a pleasure to have him with us today. And as a result of your being here, I want to present you with a Rotary Challenge coin, which I know you know what to do with that. If I can, there you go. And additionally, for you and your wife, we're happy to present you with a Passport to the Arts, which are 2 tickets at any time to the River Center, to the Columbus Symphony Orchestra, to the National Infantry Museum, which has just reopened for weekends for civilians, Columbus State University Theater Department, and the Springer Theater. Again, thank you so much for everything that you do and you continue to do, you and your fellow soldiers, and we're honored to have you with us today.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon. It's an honor being here. I really appreciate every member of the community that's here and those of you that are not here. For opportunity. They told me I had 10 minutes for the speech, but I'm only going to give you guys 5. First of all, I'd like to thank God. He has helped me through a lot. My parents, my leaders, my wife, my daughter, everybody. I still remember when I was 16, I was washing dishes in Northern California. And now I have the opportunity to sit next to Colonel Puckett. It's an honor, and I'd like to thank my leadership for selecting me for this opportunity to be here. Thank you, everybody.
Staff Sergeant Silva, you honor us with your presence. We're so glad you're here today, and please take back all of our appreciation to the men and women who wear the uniform and serve beside you at Fort Benning. Please come back and see us.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if Past President Michael would remain at the microphone, I would like to call on him now in his job as Foundation Chair and also District Governor Mary, if you would join him to present our newest multiple Paul Harris Fellows.
It's with great pride and pleasure that I am up here today as your Rotary Foundation Chairman to present multiple Paul Harris Fellow Awards. And as our past president, Betsy, used to say, she loved giving out the jewelry, and we're giving out jewelry today, and quite a bit of it. And the common thread that exists with all of these recipients is not only service above self, but their generosity and their donations that they've made to the annual fund for the Rotary Foundation. And their donations help to make the world a better place for all humankind. At this time, I would like to call up our newest recipients, and District Governor Mary will present the multiple Paul Harris pins. And as I call your name, if you'll please come up here and stand to my right. Andy McLennan, who is a +1. Julius Hunter, who is a +1. Butch Barwick, who is a +1. Jason Cooper, who is a +1. Bob Offer, who is a +2. Alan Harkness, a +2. Past President Betsy Covington, a +3. And Newt Aaron, who is a +6. And certainly this group joins a long list of Rotarians throughout the world who are emblematic of service above self, and we really appreciate your commitment and your continued support of the Rotary Foundation. Thank you so much, and thank you, District Governor.
It goes without saying that we are a generous club, so thank you all. And you know, this day just keeps getting better, because at this time I'd like to ask our District GRSP Director, Ian Bond, our new GRSP student, Haysha Haddad, and also District Governor Mary to present our newest Will Watt Fellows.
Thank you, President Laurie, District Governor Mary, and fellow Rotarians. It's always an exciting day when we recognize contributions to the Georgia Rotary Student Program Foundation. And it's the ongoing donations to the foundation that enable us and clubs around the state to sponsor great students like Haysha. And of course, we're so delighted to have two GRSP alumni with us, Sebastian Vila and Mateo Vila. And we're just wondering if maybe Sophia maybe one day might apply for GRSP. You know, we talk in GRSP now about generations of generosity. That's the theme this year for GRSP. So I would like to invite Melissa Thomas, Bob Kidd, and Blake Lane to come and join us. And our tradition in our club is that our GRSP student presents the awards, but we're going to ask District Governor Mary, would you assist Haysha? So let's see. Here comes Melissa. So that's on the top.
Do you take them out, or do you give them?
We just leave them in there. They get a free plastic bag. And then the next one is Bob Kidd. Why don't you have you and Mary? Let's have you and Mary stand with the recipients. You see, well, we are without Jim Corporal today, so we're doing the best we can. Smile.
District Governor Mary, we kind of saved all this to put on a show for you today. So, yeah.
Money.
Don't we? Wonderful. Just one quick announcement. It's really a reminder that if you haven't attended and you do plan on attending in person, just RSVP by Friday. Let us know so we can have a seat ready for you. If you have a standing RSVP, all you need to do is to let us know if you won't be here. So joining me at the head table today is President-elect Cedric Hill, who brought us our invocation, and now I would like to invite Tyler Townsend to please introduce our guest.
Thank you, President Lori. I hope you've had a chance to meet our district governor, and if you haven't, then please take a moment after the program today to come say hello. District Governor Mary Ligon joined the Rotary Club of Dougherty County in Albany in 2002. She served in several roles before becoming club president in 2009. At the district level, Mary has served as assistant governor trainer and coordinator, a multi-district PETS facilitator, and district grants chair. She was recognized as District Rotarian of the Year in 2017 with the Rotary Foundation Citation for Meritorious Service in 2018, and is a Rotary Foundation major donor. Community service is fundamental and routine for Mary. She's served in a variety of leadership roles in her church and many nonprofit organizations throughout the Albany community, most recently as chair of the Cheaha Park Authority. In 2007, Leadership Albany recognized her with the Outstanding Alumni Award. After earning her degree in Management of Information Systems from Georgia Southern, Mary began her career with IBM. She served as the Executive Director of Leadership Albany for 17 years, and in January of 2018, began serving as the Resources Director for the Association of Leadership Programs. And while Executive Director of Leadership Albany, the Association of Leadership Programs recognized her with the 2016 Preceptor Award. Mary also began a small consulting business in 1994, which she continues today. She's been married for 36 years, and Mary and Jim have 2 daughters. Margaret, a licensed athletic trainer, recently moved from Tennessee back to South Georgia and is employed by the Houston Clinic, working at the Lowndes County High School. And her daughter Anna is the Director of Business Development for Turning Point Hospital and is a member of the Rotary Club of Moultrie. Jim's currently General Manager for Interstate Warehouse Services after over 30 years with Procter & Gamble. And Mary enjoys being with her family and her friends, knitting and watching football in the fall, reading and reflecting at the lake, and walking around their pine tree farm when the snakes and the gnats are not out. I can see that. So please join me in giving her a Rotary Club of Columbus welcome.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to serve as your district governor, and it is you who make Rotary special. And the Columbus Club is a great club in our district, and I so appreciate your contributions. You had an outstanding year last year in donations to the foundation. Thank you very much. I know you are a strong supporter of GRSP, and I heard earlier today that you have a waiting list of host families, and I think that is just wonderful because that is a truly unique program for Georgia, and we appreciate your support and leadership in that area. And speaking of leadership, it's so good to be here with you, and I just want to acknowledge Tyler has come on this year in my year of service as an assistant governor, and I appreciate his leadership and effort and support in that, and it's great to have leadership from the Columbus Club serving at the district level. We also have Ryan, your rock star in the back with the technology, is serving as my awards chair for this year, and I appreciate that. And of course, Ian, who is your strong supporter of GRSP, is actually the district's chair for GRSP this year. So thank you all for the leadership you provide, not only within the club, but to the district as well. So it's the governors here, and the governor's going to speak, and it's going to be the same message, and it's probably boring. but I hope not today. So I come, like Lori, from a background with Leadership Albany and facilitating discussions and having interactions. So let me just warn you, I'm going to ask some questions, and I hope I don't hear crickets. But if I do, it'll be okay. I'm accustomed to that. So let's just start off right off the bat. Who knows what Rotary International's vision is? Anybody? Now, I'll be surprised if somebody does, so I'm going to acknowledge that right off the bat. But does anybody know what the vision is? Anybody want to take a stab? Go ahead, shout it out. Serve to change lives. Well, that you've been reading the banner for this year. Yay! That's great. Not exactly the vision, but certainly a worthy motto that represents what we're focused on for this year. Anybody else want to take a guess? Service above self is our motto. It's not exactly our vision. So thank you for contributing and not having crickets in the room. But let me tell you what our vision is, because I think this is one of those things we may not be as familiar with, and I'd like us to do so. So Rotary International's vision is, together, we see a world where people unite to create lasting change in the world, their communities, and themselves. And that's what the Rotary Club of Columbus does all the time. But isn't that great vision? And really, to shorten it, I think of together, people create change. Change is a key word for us this year. RI President Shaker has called my class of district governors the change makers. It is time for Rotary International and our clubs and our districts and our zones to be evolving with society, and that takes us adapting and making some changes so that we continue to grow and we continue to serve and we continue to change lives in our communities. But we've got to be prepared to do that, and that's going to require some change on our part in some instances. So several years ago, Rotary International embarked on creating a strategic plan. Now, I think every club needs a strategic plan. And let me share with you what Rotary's is, because they all work together and inform the club's plan. So we're calling these strategic priorities. Now, the first one is to increase our impact. Now, you know what the impact Rotary has, especially through the Rotary Foundation all across the world, as well as in the local community. What is our number one service project? Now, you know this one. Polio, that's right. End polio is our number one service project. And we want to build on that legacy and continue to increase our impact across the world, in our communities. The second one is, beyond increase our impact, is we want to expand our membership. So we have got to grow Rotary in order to have greater impact. More members means more people doing things, means greater impact. So these work very closely together. And we're going to engage together to serve one another. The third area is enhance participant engagement. Now, you are the participants, as well as those organizations that you may work with in your community that are exposed to Rotary through your service. Those nonprofit organizations that you do projects with, those end up being participants with us, right? And we want to enhance everyone's participation and their experience with Rotary. Back in February at President-elect training, as we were just coming out of COVID, and being from the South in Georgia and the SEC, I'm a pretty big football fan, as you heard. I like to watch football. And I kind of like all football teams in the SEC. Now, Missouri and Arkansas, they're a little iffy. But, you know, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Florida, I married a Gator, Mississippi, there are, you know, those are all great teams. But if there are Auburn fans in here, I'm sure, right? Okay, War Eagle, yeah, okay. Roll Tide, okay. Well, I do think about Coach Saban and his ability to attract talent. And that is something I think we have to do, is think about how we're going to attract talent to Rotary in the future. So then this get back in the game theory or analogy, we've got to assess what we're doing. Don't you know Coach Saban and all those other head coaches on an annual basis are assessing how did we do last year, where are our gaps, what skills do we need to add to our team, where am I going to go recruit those new players, I need to come up with some new trick plays so that we can outfox whomever, probably LSU. But anyway, in the end, we've got to get back in the game. And so I am so excited that Lori is well on her way into getting back in the game with your help and support. And we will, in the end, be celebrating our victories and our success. So as you've seen, the banner says our theme this year is Serve to Change Lives. It's very evident that we are already doing that in many ways, and we will continue to do that. A couple of themes that President Shaker has also given us is grow more to do more, to grow more, to do more, to grow more, to do more, okay? There's a cycle there, right? And so coming back to that, expand our membership, we really have to think about how can we continue to grow members, grow Rotary, engage new people in the Rotary experience, because that gives us more hands to do more service, to change lives. So it's not exclusive to Rotary to be able to serve, but what is exclusive is the Rotary experience. And so I encourage you to think about how do you make every Rotary experience an excellent opportunity, an excellent way for people to participate. That's the Rotary experience. It happens in the meetings, it happens in socials, it happens in service projects, and that's how other people learn about Rotary. And they have a Rotary experience by working with you on those service projects. So this is how we're going to identify new talent and recruit new folks to our team to serve along with us to change lives, which is really all we are about. Grow more, to do more, to grow more, to do more. Now, one way, very specifically, that you can help is each one bring one. Every member bring a new member to Rotary. You know, we wouldn't have a membership problem if that were happening, would we? And you can bring them to this club, you can form new clubs, you can bring someone to Rotary. And if we're prepared for them to have an excellent experience, then they will join. The other one is each one keep one. So we have this little problem about attrition. So we need to reach out and make sure that those of us who are Rotarians and are members of our club are here and engaged and having a good experience. And maybe you're the person that needs to reach out and connect with them if you haven't seen them in a while. The do more, you already answered the question about our #1 service project. It's in polio now. We continue to focus on that. It's going to take some more dollars because we have to re-immunize people in other countries over and over. It's expensive, but we can't give it up because it is our legacy. President Shaker also has 2 other emphases that I think fit with things you're probably already working on and can continue to consider. And one of those is empowering girls. Now, he's from India. There's a whole different culture and issues around women in India, and the issues they face are not what we face here. But we have opportunities to empower girls and empower women. Maybe it's supporting women-owned businesses. Maybe it's education for young women or girls in STEM or robotics or technology or math. There's a number of ways. The one that comes to my mind, though, is self-defense for women. That would be a great project for young girls to learn how to physically defend themselves if the occasion arose to be needed. Now, my oldest daughter, that's the athletic trainer, she was a competitive gymnast in high school, and you know those little girls are pretty strong. And we used to tease her a little bit about dating and saying, now, if you have to, you can take him out because you're strong. You know, don't be afraid to use it. The other one is Rotary Days of Service. President Shaker is encouraging partnerships with other Rotary clubs and partnerships with nonprofit organizations as you plan together to address a need that occurs in your community, and you can work together to solve it. And again, all this ties back into the participation and the Rotary experience and expanding our membership, increasing our impact. That all works together. So consider those options. And the one that I am most excited about that is an initiative started within our zone is the Youth and Peace in Action project, which focuses on providing high school students with the skills, the knowledge, a framework to work in to build peace. And I know, I'm excited, that y'all have already signed up someone or an organization. This is normally, many are coming to this through their support of Interact clubs, but you are doing this through the Boys and Girls Club. And that is leading the way throughout the district and the zones for other Boys and Girls Clubs to think about offering this in their organization for their young people and the teens. What better thing can we do for the immediate future and for our long-term future than teach our young people how to get along, how to work together through solving problems that we don't all see the same way and may not all agree on initially, but we can give them a framework to work through those, to analyze data, to develop solutions that meet the real need, not just, hey, we like the idea of us doing this and we think you ought to be the recipient of it. So, Youth and Peace in Action is very exciting. I am proud that our district is leading the way across the zones for that. The last time I checked, we had 28 organizations signed up to participate in that, and there are others waiting in the wings that just haven't completed the paperwork. I feel like we will probably hit somewhere in the range of 40, maybe more. The YMCA group in Metro Atlanta is looking putting this in all 18 of their family branches to do with their teen programs. So think about the critical mass that we can have in Georgia and in the Southeast and in our zone with this many students, 100,000 potentially, learning how to work in a peaceful way, identify needs, put together meaningful, impactful projects in their local community. So learn more, go to youthpeaceaction.org, watch the video on Rice for Life. It is a great example of the difference of a collecting cans food drive in a high school, which is a good thing, nothing wrong with it, and what they ended up doing and the impact they made when they applied the process they learned and how that changed the outcome and the impact. So I look forward to celebrating our successes with you in Destin in April. You know, we're going to do the victory sign because we have had a great year, and we've done that because we have adapted. We are adapting all the time to respond to the needs of our community and how we best can serve. Now, I'm going to open it up for questions because as I'm challenging clubs to adapt, I believe the district has to do some adapting too. And I'd like to hear from you, any questions you have, any comments, any suggestions you'd like to make. I'm from the district and I'm here to help. So what can I do to serve you? Anyone with any questions or comments or suggestions? And how,
Any questions? Walter?
I know that giving to Rotary is more than just giving money, but it seems to me that in this day and age we're competing, everybody's shopping online, and it's so easy, and that has increased people's spending because it's so easy. If I was Rotary or a nonprofit, I would invest in the technology to make it so easy for people to give, and not just the payment method, but also what are they giving to? Not just, you know, just text on something, have pictures. It's almost like they'd be shopping at what they're giving, you know, like polio or clean water, and so that they would have a visual.
okay, that's a great idea.
Can you repeat?
Oh, I'm sorry. So the suggestion is that Rotary International can make it much easier to donate, and we need to do a better job about telling our stories of what they're donating to. For example, clean water, polio, what all those things are. So I know Rotary International is always working on the website, and there's always updates to be made. We're having to adapt to a rapidly changing world, and thank you for your comment. I'm going to be thinking about how I do that in the district too. I know my time's up. Thank you for having me today. I love being with Columbus.
Just so you know, what we do is we place a children's book in the local library.
Great.
Inscribed with your name.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a quick reminder that there will be a replay of today's program on Facebook, and you'll also get a YouTube link very soon. If you are watching from home and you want to join us, please RSVP by Friday. And I want to welcome all of our visiting Rotarians and our guests. Thank you for being here. Sebastian, thank you. Thank you all for coming and joining us today. It's been a pleasure. And I also want to especially welcome, Haisha, where are you? There she is. Welcome you officially. You probably feel all welcomed out, don't you, by now? Board meeting and then the meeting. And then Staff Sergeant Silva, thank you for being here. We hope that you'll come visit again. And now I know that you will not want to miss next week's program. It is the football forecasters. Okay? Absolutely. So until next week, let's continue to make a difference.